Friends, we have completed chapter 4 of Peter Pan. Now, chapter 5, that is The Little House and a Home Under the Ground. Soul stored like a conqueror over Wendy's body. When the others ran from the trees, are late. I will shoot Wendy. Peter will be so proud of me, he shouted. Silently was the first to speak. This is not bird, she said, in a scared voice. I think he must be a lady, and I think we killed her. Stolz, his mouth open with shock again, to tremble. The boys took off their caps. Peter was bringing her to us. And you killed her, said Curly. A lady to take care of us at last, said one of the twins, and now she's gone. Stolz was ashamed now and started walking away. Come back, the other cried. I can't, I'm not afraid of Peter. At the moment, they all are here. A sound that brought fear to their hearts. Peter crowing, Peter, they cried from the always signaled his return in this manner. Hide her, they whispered and gathered hastily around Wendy. But Stoll should have laughed. A second later, Peter dropped to the ground. Greeting, boys, he cried, smiling. The boys saluted but did not seem as excited. Peter forward. I am back, he said hotly. Why do you not cheer before he gave them a chance to reply? He quickly told them exactly that he had to brought along a mother to look after them. Have you not seen her? Asked Peter. She flew this way. Peter Stoll said quickly, I will show her to you. And when the others would still have hidden him, he said, back, twins, let Peter see. They all stood back and let Peter have a look to her. Peter noticed the arrow that had struck her. He picked it up. Whose arrow is this? He glowed. Mine, Peter said. To Stolz, who had gone down on his knees as Peter was about to strike him with the arrow. Wendy's arm moved. She leaves, Peter said briefly. When Peter climbed beside her, he noticed that the arrow had pierced the acrom bottom he had given her, which he had tried to chain around her neck. As they tried to revive her, he had a full welling. That's thing, said Curly. She's crying because Wendy leaves there. The boys stood dazed them about Tinkerbell and what she made them do, and they never saw him looking aggrieved. He got to his feet and yelled at the top of voice, Tinkerbell, listen to me. I am not longer your friend, be gone forever. Tinkerbell rushed and tugged his shoulder, pleading for forgiveness, but he kept brushing off her. Only when he saw Wendy moving silently did say, not forever, but for a whole week. After she flew away, Peter ordered the boys to build a house around Wendy, as it would be very ungentlemanly to pick her up. She was after of a lady. The boys hurriedly went to build the best house for their lady. As they were leaving, John and Michael appeared. When they saw Wendy on the ground, they asked Peter if she was sleeping. When Peter replied that she was and that he had a lost boys were building a house for her, John said, snobily, whatever will happen, for she's just a girl. That's explained Curly. He's why are her servants. You, Wendy's servants? Yes, said Peter, and you also away with them. The surprised brothers were dragged away to work and toil. After a long time, one of the boys came back to check on Wendy. He cried out, she's moving, Peter. By the time she woke up fully, the house was completely ready. Where I am? Wendy asked. Lady was built his house for you, silently said proudly. What a lovely darling, you asked, Wendy said. And they were the very words to the had doped the would say. And we are your children, said the twins. With that, the boys went on their knees with their arms outstretched. Who? Wendy, please be our mother. But I am only a little girl. I have no real experience, Wendy said, taken aback. It does not matter. All we need is a nice motherly person, said Peter. Well, I know, I am that, smiled Wendy. We know, cried a lost voice. We saw that at once. Very well, she said. I will do my best. Come inside at once before I put you to bed. I have just enough time to finish the story of Cinderella. So in they all went, except Peter, who stood outside to get the place. After a while, he started falling asleep, and some little fairies came and played about near him. Wendy was being a very good mother. She wicked Pericus had slowly baked a poisonous cake for the boys, but Wendy stacked it away from anyone could eat even a bite and saved the boys. One of the first things Peter did the next was to measure Wendy. John and Michael were whole trees. Wendy and Michael fighted the trees at the first try, but John had to little tread a little. They grew to love their home under the ground, especially Wendy. Peter, along with Wendy, invited a new game that did not involve advantages like sitting on stools, flying balls in the air, pushing one another, etc. To see Peter sitting doing nothing on a stool was a great sight. Imagination and make believe played a very important role in Peter's and his friends' lives. It was so powerful, so real, that even if there was nothing on the plate, all you had to do was make believe that your plate was filled with things to eat. Wendy's favorite pastime was sweeping the dragons after the entire household was asleep. She spent the free time she had in making new clothes for the boys. The poet Wolf Wendy had dreamt of very soon discovered that she was one of the island, and it followed her everywhere. Thank you for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe to my channel.